Hey guys, Godslayer here, and before we start the video today, I wanted to ask you guys if there are any video ideas you'd like to see in the future. If so, please leave a comment down below and I'll check them out. Anywho, today we'll be discussing the small unit tactics of Napoleon Bonaparte's light infantry, and how they were able to distinguish themselves from all the other European infantries at the time, resulting in the semi-genesis of modern warfare. The light infantry, normally composed of men less than 5 feet 6 inches in height, would precede their regiment as it approached an enemy unit. Their duty was to harass the enemy with scattered musket fire and try to force back the enemy's skirmishers attempting to do the same. The light infantry fought more so as skirmishers rather than the traditional shoulder-to-shoulder line infantry, taking advantage of the room between fire teams and all bits of cover to move towards the enemy while firing and reloading. Eventually, the line infantry and grenadier companies of the regiment would overtake the light infantry, which is when the light infantry would then resume its place within the regimental firing line. From 1805 to 1812, Napoleon consistently utilized light infantry regiments as elite auxiliary forces that would either support or assume the mission. Napoleon employed light infantry units in key engagements because they exhibited high esprit de corps, quality leadership, and performed essential specialty tasks in order to achieve victory on the battlefield. They were able to employ light infantry in the seizure and security of villages and river crossings in the surrounding area. They utilized light infantry in the protection of communication and supply lines. The French Republic was the first nation to make mainstream use of light infantry units on the European continent. Although light infantry were initially developed during the 7 Years' War, light infantry were only utilized by the British and French as skirmisher units in the small woodland engagements in the Americas. However, the success of light infantry units during the American Revolution created a push towards adopting these units in European armies. The French merely took advantage of a highly mobile, loosely formed infantry force that was defendable against both line infantry and artillery. Light infantry tactics were key for Napoleon-era warfare. Light infantry both harassed enemy units in restrictive terrain and heightened the psychological deterioration of enemy units. It was soon discovered that smaller units could inflict higher casualties against enemy units if they were spread out against thick vegetation or urban terrain. While heavy infantry battalions advanced to the front, light infantry units would screen and deter enemy counterattacks from outflanking the line infantry formations, allowing line infantry battalions enough reaction time to respond and counteract the enemy's actions. The light infantry regiments would march in close proximity to the main infantry column, and would break off from the main column if enemy units attempted to engage the line infantry. Lastly, light infantry units, after being relieved from holding objectives or escorting units to the front, would become frontline reserves for the commanders who could utilize them as basic infantry units if the situation demanded it, which is more often than not in the later years of Napoleon's wars. The importance of light infantry regiments can be seen throughout every battlefield of the French wars. Light infantry became important units for commanders on the battlefield due to their individual unit effectiveness and ability to rapidly deploy into conflicts. Light infantry soldiers carried lighter packs with less ammunition than normal line infantry units, which made them faster on the battlefield. They also carried lighter carbines, which allowed them to move faster than line companies and shoot over 40 yards. Some light infantry regiments even supplied their regular enlisted soldiers with pistols in order to engage enemy forces in close quarters. Light infantry units used whistles and horns that were distinctly separate from the main army force in order to communicate with the dispersed troops. To put it in other words, special weapons, equipment, and communication devices helped compound the tactical success of these units. All these significant effects French light infantry had on the battlefield was not unnoticed throughout the European continent. Other countries started mimicking these eerily modern skirmisher tactics, resulting in the traditional line infantry methods becoming obsolete in the coming years. If you ended up liking the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Thank you for watching.